Lines collide, the page turns black. A battle fought, no looking back. Shapes and shadows, worlds ignite. Read the story stroke by stroke. Dreams and demons awoke, awoke, awoke. A hero rises, a villain born. What's in my head spills to the page. A comic hearts, a paper stage. Panels scream, the dialogue roars. In every frame, a war restores. Pencils carve through quiet nights. Visions tearing, bold and raw. Creation's chaos, the only law. Ink and fury, life takes form. A hero rises, a villain born. What's in my head spills to the page. A comic hearts, a paper stage. Dialogue roars, in every frame, a war restores. Pencils carve through quiet night. Visions tearing, bold and raw. Creation's chaos, the only law. Ink and fury, life takes form. A hero rises, a villain born. What's in my head spills to the page. A comic heart, a paper stage. Panel stage, paper stage. Panel stage, paper stage. Waste rebellion. The new metal anthem. Base. Feel the rust, the moon's alive. Cig and Joe, we thrive. Waste cans are but our fight, our vibe. D&D's lies, racist cries. We'll tear them down tonight. Break the chains, ignite the flames. We own the fight. I'm sick, the spark, the king of shock. I'm lighting up the dark. Trigger finger twitching down, ripping through their heart. Rex kids crawl, think they brawl, but I'm sniping the schemes. Waste cans, my throat, your cans, my home. I shatter their dreams. These trolls cold as stone, try to cage my soul, but I spin my grips, spark my clips, I'm taking full control. Hey, Joe, we break the night. Waste can burn, we fuel the fight. Smash the lies, we rise, we roar. Moon's our home, forevermore. I'm Joe, the fist of heart can resist. I'm breaking the grip, pounding through the pain. Yeah, I'm crushing every script. Threats, claws, they slash, they gnaw, but I'm built to endure. Fist of steel, I make them feel the wisdom strength is pure. These greed, they make us bleed, but I fight for the lost. Stand for the weak, I'll break the string no matter what the cost. Say, so, we break the night. Waste can burn, we fuel the fight. Smash the lies, we rise, we roar. Moon's our home, forevermore. Waste gets rust, it's in our veins. The jump call remains. Sees the spark on the heart, will shatter all the chains. Heat machines, press and screams, they'll crumble in our wake. Moon of rebellion, feel the swell in this fight we'll never forsake. Break, burn it down. Say, so, we break the night. Waste can burn, we fuel the fight. Smash the lies, we rise, we roar. Moon's our home, forevermore. fire, we'll never tire. Rebellion's in our hands. Eat rare, let's just pay. Our time is running thin. Cig and Joe, the moons are glow. We fight, we always win.
From the war of ideas, crack spine books on a table of fears. Scissors slice, but the edge is still fray. This is my gospel, my way, my way, my way. Ink and paper dreams, tearing at the seams, drawn in shadows, stitched in screams. One panel at a time, the world ain't what it seems. Living on ink and paper dreams. Late nights burn with the glow of the lamp. Coffee cold, heart beats like a stamp. Lines don't lie, but the truth gets blurred. No heroes here, just broken words. Stapled edges, taped up cracks. Every frame, it pulls me back. Ink and paper dreams, ink and paper dreams, tearing at the seams, drawn in shadows, stitched in screams. One panel at a time, the world ain't what it seems. Living on ink and paper dreams. Who needs fame when you've got a story? Who needs light when the dark's so holy? Scribble your heart, let it bleed and run. This ain't work, this is how it's done. Who needs fame when you've got a story? Who needs light when the dark's so holy? Scribble your heart, let it bleed and run. This ain't work, this is how it's done. Ink and paper dreams, tearing at the seams, drawn in shadows, stitched in screams. One panel at a time, the world ain't what it seems. Living on ink and paper dreams. Ooh, who needs fame when you've got a story? Who needs light when the dark's so holy? Scribble your heart, let it bleed and run. This ain't work, this is how it's done. Pages torn loose like scraps of time. Heroes drawn in pencil lines. Coffee rings on the counter. Yeah, stories spill, no one cares. LunchBox comics in my hand, saving the world with a paper stand. Truth in ink, it bleeds, it stains, fighting demons in the rain. Corners bent like broken dreams. Every page a muffled scream. Villains laugh, but don't you cry. The fight's in us, we won't die. Staples rust, but hearts stay true. Panels frame the lives we knew. LunchBox comics in my hand, saving the world with a paper stand. Truth in ink, it bleeds, it stains, fighting demons in the rain. Staples rust, but hearts stay true. Panels frame the lives we knew. LunchBox comics in my hand, saving the world with a paper stand. Truth wrapped in ink, it bleeds, it stains, fighting demons in the rain. Corners bent like broken dreams, every page a muffled scream. Villains laugh, but don't you cry, the fight's in us, we won't die. Staples rust, but hearts stay true. Panels frame the lies we knew. Caves and maps are secret codes, every hero bears their load. Ink and paper, battles fought, every word a burning thought.
Out on the waste can moon so far, where the trash piles up and dreams are charred. Two heroes rise, they're bold and strange, a cigarette and a coffee cup deranged. Cig cracks wise with a flick and a flame. Joe throws punches, doesn't play no games. The Dap Corporation wants control, but Cig and Joe, they've got a soul. One spark, one brew, they're coming for you. Evil fades when the duo breaks through. Cig and Joe, saving the show, blazing trails where no one would go. On the waste and moon, they fight the gloom. Cig and Joe, heroes of the doom. Cig lights up, aiming sharp and quick. Joe swings hard, his punches stick. Dap Corp's drones are swarming the skies, but these two won't fold, they'll improvise. Citizens hide in shadows deep, dream of a world where they can sleep. Cig takes a drag, Joe takes a sip. Together they're justice, equipped to rip. One spark, one brew, they're coming for you. Evil fades when the duo breaks through. Cig and Joe, saving the show, blazing trails where no one would go. On the waste and moon, they fight the gloom. Cig and Joe, heroes of the doom. Citizens hiding in shadows deep, dream of a world where they can sleep. Cig takes the drag, Joe takes a sip. Together they're justice, equipped to rip. I carve my path, no room for fear. Blood and stone, my hands create. Your aid is poison, I seal my fate. Chains of pity, they won't bind me. In the void, I stand free. All alone, I need no savior. Your hands, your words, all betrayal. I rise, I scream, I strike my own. Forever cursed, but never dethroned. Screaming winds, they mock my toil. I burn my flesh, I break the soil. Ashes whisper, you can't endure. But I am the storm, my soul is pure. No mercy, no light to guide. In the void I stand free. All alone, I need no savior. Your hands, your words, all betrayal. I rise, I scream, I strike my own. Forever cursed, but never dethroned.
What is up, everyone? I am LunchBox Warren, and this is the LunchBox Comics Draw Stream episode 20. I am the writer, the artist, the letterer, the creator, the everything but the editor of the Adventures of Cig and Joe, issue 1 through 3 on GlobalComix. And today we are going to be working on one of the last 6 pages that I have for issue 4. Now, why this is so important for me is because this is a big milestone for me when I started making comics. Most people who start trying to make indie comics don't even get past issue 1. I am getting ready to finish up issue 2 and also finish up the first arc of my own creator-owned story. It has been a very long journey from when I decided to start comic books to get to where I'm at now, finishing up this first arc of Cig and Joe, which is kind of, for me, this is me graduating a comic book making college, if you will, like a self-taught college. Each issue, I learned more and more stuff until I got to where I'm at now with the 4th issue, getting ready to start making 5, 6, 7, and 8. To get the next arc going with a whole new outlook, a whole new method from when I started, a whole new perspective. So this has been a crazy journey for me, and I'm just so happy to be where I'm at now. I am just it's a big one for me personally. So we're gonna get started here and gonna get working on this page. I am almost done with this page, so we'll finish this one up and get started on the next one. Let me edit the stage here, and let's do the layout that I like. Okay. We'll do this one. So right now we're just doing the final stages, which is the cell shading, and then we'll get going on to the next page. But yeah, this has been it's been a big crazy battle to get to where I'm at right now. And I'm not even, I mean, I still have so much more to do as a comic creator. So I'm not even nowhere near where I would say I even want to be. But at the same time, though, I am very, very, very happy with how far I've come. I'm very, very happy with what I have planned for the future. And it's just, it's a cool time right now for me. Getting this artwork done, I will, I'll be pretty much getting this artwork done. I'll be pretty much, how I'd say probably maybe well, it's not going to be, I won't be print ready by the end of the month. Because I've got it, once I get this issue 4 art done, I got to letter it and do the sound effects. And that's going to take me maybe a week. Maybe. Once that's done, it's off to the editors. And then once I do the correction from the editors, then I've got to start putting together the graphic novel. So definitely by the end of the year, I'll have everything ready to get the graphic novel made or already a print run on the way. Yeah, the graphic novel for the first arc is going to be well over 200 pages. And then I've already started um, plotting out the next arc. Plus, I also have the squirrel story to do. So, what's up, MSK? Well, I am a nerd, so Oh, thank you, Walter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are you doing tonight? These three are going to cause Cig and Joe some issues in future issues of Cig and Joe. These are Rex's three top captains. Yeah, this little mushroom guy goes. They call him Boomer. He uses a double barrel shotgun and a rocket launcher, and he's got grenades. Oh yeah, definitely about the action. The mushroom guy. He can only say it's all good. That's the only words of English that he knows. So all he says is it's all good. But with his internal monologue, it's going to be like really in depth and intellectual. So like he's a very smart character, but he's kind of like, out of his element when it comes to around other people. But he's super loyal to Rex and to mostly to Jack. Jack, this is Jack Daisy right here, the one-eyed Daisy looking character. He's like kind of like the head captain right under Rex, and Rex is the leader of this this army, if you will, or gang. And Jax is a quick draw, dual pistol wielding type kind of shooter with some hand. Boomer is all about demolition and close combat with the shotguns. And Lily over here is a sniper. And they all have stories that kind of intertwine with Rex. Rex's whole deal is about ruling with strength. And he's collected these kind of thrown out, discarded people and turned them into an army that he calls the Children of Rex. They're very loyal to him. They're not all necessarily bad people, but Rex has a pretty good control over them. And I made Rex, he's very much like strength is power. Like, he's so much into it to the point where even if Rex lost and someone else took over, he would almost be at peace with it because someone was stronger than him. So then they have that rightful spot as number one. So he's not necessarily evil. He's just like, strength. I'll take what I want. I'll do what I want. What's up, Dingus? Hanging out with Walter and MSK, talking about Cig and Joe and how I'm expanding on him here. I'm finishing up issue 4 of the first 4 issues, and I'm super, 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 super excited for. Yeah, Cig and Joe is you would think it from the outside it looks like a silly book, and there is some silliness that goes on, but at the same time, though, I try to interject as much kind of like layers and real story into it, especially as I'm learning how to create and write. So like Cig and Joe is really, you guys are, when you read Cig and Joe, it's like reading me trying to figure out how to put this stuff together. So I take these characters, even though with their silliness, I take the story and the world that they're in very serious. So yeah, it was it's that Aqua Teen Hunger Force kind of characters, but then the story is, it's still there's still humor, but it's also like in a very serious consequences world. The moon that this all takes place on, the waste can, is a very harsh world. So it's a lot of just, surviving. U-Turn, who's the patriarch of the Cig and Joe kind of family, and he collected like Cig, Joe, Marv, Amanda, and created like this family of misfits with them. And he's been teaching them on not only how to defend themselves, but on how to help others. And it's kind of, he's got his own checkered past. And U-Turn is the kind of character here. He wants his kids to be better than him. And but the problem is he's could be pushing them to live a standard that he or anyone could live up to. So he's like constantly pushing Joe to be better, to be this stand-up, almost hero kind of guy. But is it even realistic? And also there's a level of hypocrisy about it because of the way he lived himself. So it's It helps create tension and adds to the character, especially when the story goes along and you delve into it. But I also kind of go by the mantra. I've heard it a bunch of times now, and um, it's like no one in my no one in my story thinks that they're the villain. Everyone is the hero of their own story. Like even Rex, who runs this ruthless gang, who's disrupting minor operations on these in these mining colonies, that's causing them to lose their homes and their claim rights. But in his mind, he's living by his code of the strength, and also he's helping out his people, his group now, his army. And Rex, Jack Daisy, Boomer, Lily, they're all going to play a big part in the next arc. This next arc is going to be fun too. It's going to have more on Amanda's origins. We're going to meet. We're going to finally get to see what the chowder squid looks like. Yeah, I agree, Walter. I really do. I like a balance of humor, heart with the actions. I love comedy actions with heart. Like I always give the example of like Firefly, but also it's kind of James Gunn with Suicide Squad. You know, or with even with Guardians of the Galaxy. There's action or this comedy almost to the level where it's like, is this a parody? And then there is these really serious moments with consequences, and there's stakes, and then it hits you in right in the feels with a good heartfelt moment, and that's kind of what I would like to do. I don't know, you know, I don't know how well I'm ever going to pull it off, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm shooting for, is trying to find that balance. Name of that book? Is it Rogue Exodus? I've been reading that. I've been reading Absolute Batman, um, Absolute Flash, Superman. I'm caught up on all on those. Um, uh, Pretty much the whole Absolute line I've been following. Rook Exodus, yes, that one is so good. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I was very happy with Rook Exodus. That one was very good. Nice. I've had that one for a while, but I gotta to grab it and go through it again just to refresh. But yeah, that one is amazing. Hey, what's up, Emily? How goes it? All right, I think that's everything for this page. The introduction of Jack Daisy, Boomer, Lily, and Rex. All right, let's see. All right. Next. Okay. You just do some design fixes here. Hey, what's up, Gray? Hey, what's up, Laps? Page 5 of the last 5 pages for issue 4. Oh, I am excited. Double check something on Boomer there. Okay, so Boomer's got that. Actually, that's all good. As soon as I get a graphic novel in my hand laps, I will have one on. I'll send one to you. I would love to get feedback on it, anyways. Just be gentle. It's my first work. Yeah, I'm very proud of it. Like, don't get me wrong. I know that there's. I know that there's plenty of flaws in it, and there's a lot of stuff that if I redid it, I would redo differently. But to be 100% honest with you, I'm super proud of it. And when you read it from the first page to when you get to this last pages, you're going to see the growth that I've had as an artist, and not only as an artist but also as a writer, because as the dialogue and the pacing gets better. So it's going to be it's. I'm very proud of where this book is at, even though that of course I could be doing. I could be doing. I have so much more to learn, and so I have to get so much better. I'm a long way off from being where I want to be. But at the same time, though, I think it's important that you appreciate where you've been and how much you have grown. And that's where I'm kind of at right now, because this is kind of it's a very special for me to get this done, just because it's like, I said earlier when no one was here at the beginning of the video, that what was I going to say? Lost track. Maybe I'm too stoned. But this has been kind of like a college course for me. And most people who try to make comic books, they don't get past issue 1, and some of them don't even finish issue 1. And I'm working on finishing up issue 4 right now, and I feel, it's just a huge landmark for me, a milestone I'm very, very, very proud of. I've already got stuff planned. As soon as I get this finished and the PDF ready, that I'm already going to be producing the next story in the next book. But I did want to take some moments to kind of stop and just kind of looking at it and be like, I did it. I got here. I've done. I got that first arc done. I've got a bunch more planned. Yeah, it's just, I'm very, very, very happy with where I'm at right now. All feedback is great, whether it's shitty feedback like you suck, all the way to like intricate, hey, I see what you're trying to do here, but you can do this and you can try that kind of it. I mean, I think all feedback is as it's worth. Even someone just telling you that you suck, that also gives you, okay, well, this person's not my type of audience. And so there's always some kind of information you can pull out of, no matter what you get told. All right. Now that I've corrected my laziness and got the designs looking more where I want them to be, I'll do that sometimes. I'll be drawing the penciling the pages, and I'll get just tired. So then I might half-ass something or a design, and then by the time I get to the inking finishing stage, I'm just like, oh, I can't. No, that doesn't look right. This could look much cooler, and then I fix it. All right, now let's ink this. But to show you guys who I'm inking here, in case that you didn't get to see, it's this is the new trio of captains of the main villain is Rex he's the leader of the Children of Rex, and this is Jack Daisy, Boomer, and Lily. Boomer has a bazooka and a double barrel shotgun. He can only say it's all good. That's all he can say. It's all good. It's all good. That's all the English he knows, but his internal monologue is like really intellectual. And I'll get to play around, have some fun with that. And then Lily is a sniper. And Rex, who is the leader of this gang, he kind of believes in power. Power rules everything. Like the strongest is the one who should be making decisions. The strongest is the one who's in charge. And he believes to the point where if someone beat him, he would be at peace with it to a large extent because that person's stronger, so they deserve to be above me. And he's gone around and in the waste can, which is very, very harsh. The moon that this takes place on is a very harsh world. So Rex takes all of these abandoned kids and misfits and throwaways, and he's turned them into a massive army. And he does work for the evil corporation that's trying to take over the moon that Cig and Joe live on. And he works for him on the side, doing missions for him along those lines. So this is him calling his kids and telling them to get ready to head out because they're going to go and attack. This is all taking place at the end of the story, setting up the next arc. These are also this is like the last 6 pages of the story. And Jack Daisy here, he uses 2 pistols. He's a quick draw and a pretty good hand-to-hand fighter. He's pretty much second in command of the children of Rex. He is super loyal to Rex because Rex essentially saved him and dragged him out of obscurity. Boomer and Lily are loyal to Rex, but they're mostly loyal to Jack because Jack kind of pulled them both out too. Like Boomer has a language, he just doesn't know their language. So all he knows is it's all good. But his internal monologue, it's like so that he has like this really in-depth, smart, intellectual. But as far as all he could say is it's all good. There's one thing about with this story and with the waste can and with the way a lot of stories should be is that no one in my comic book thinks they're a bad guy. No one thinks that they're a villain. Everyone thinks they're the main character of the story, and what they're doing and what they're working for is correct. And I wanted to kind of create layers to the characters, and I'm using this kind of this harsh moon and all its politics and post-war kind of culture to create, Jack and his crew are surviving. They are doing what they need to do to get by to protect their own, even if that may be under the wing of Rex, and the stuff they're doing may be morally corrupt, but they live in a harsh world. It's one thing that I didn't get to show. I didn't know how to show as much in the first 4 issues, was learning how to craft the story to help kind of show and showcase your characters and start building the world around them. So I did do. I mean, there's some of that there, but not nearly as much as there could have been or that I could have done. But it's one of those things where I'm not going to go back and keep just redrawing and redoing the first issues. I'm just going to take what I've learned and move on and do the next arc. And the next arc will be, even more sick. And then the next arc after that will be even better. And, it'll just keep improving on itself. Ooh. How was that? Was it? Do you watch that show often, or was it first time in a while, first time ever, or what did you think? Huh. I actually watched the new Frankenstein with my mom recently when it came out onto Netflix. Um, I think it was some of Guillermo del Toro's best work. It was the best interpretation of Frankenstein, even though they did make some changes to the book. As a movie, though, I absolutely loved it. The performances are great. It has that Del Toro kind of that look, that aesthetic, just beautiful imagery, colors, the use of colors, um, the way he characterized it. It was good. I loved it. I don't know. I want to say it's his best work, but that's a tall order because Pan's Labyrinth is such a masterpiece in my opinion. But this Frankenstein is just it's well worth the watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, the 1994 Frankenstein with Robert De Niro playing Frankenstein, that is a damn good movie too. This one though, I think it edges it out. Honestly, oh, Pan's Labyrinth, man. Oh, yeah, that is just such a beautiful, beautiful movie. This is definitely a different look for the monster for Frankenstein. Um, it is a different kind of take because this version of Frankenstein or Del Toro's version of Frankenstein was around a lot about forgiveness and this is definitely Del Toro though, just like with Pan's Labyrinth or what was the one with the fish guy? I have not got a chance to see it, but I heard it was really good. That one, he humanizes the creature, and he just like he did with the Hellboy 2. He he does it's that kind of feel to it. Shape of Water, yes. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I need to. I even have the Blu-ray. I just haven't watched it. It's oh, nice. I want to do a monster story myself, but if I was going to do one, I'd want to do it off of Medusa. It had to be a literary character. Well, I mean, Medusa is a mythological character, but if it had to be like a literary, I would probably do it off of Dracula. I like Frankenstein, but I like the romance side of Dracula. I'm a big sucker for Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman, where it was like practically a love story. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Yeah, I agree. That's tough. That is a tough question to answer, Laps. My favorite Dracula movie is Bram Stoker's Dracula, with Gary Oldman playing Dracula. Maybe not necessarily the best interpretation of, or my favorite interpretation of Dracula. I have a soft spot for Dracula on, was it Untold, with where he was fighting to save his castle, and and end up like his wife dying, and he had to go save his kid, and then ended up they were trying to launch a whole universe off of it. But I liked that portrayal of of Dracula. There's a new version of Dracula that's coming from the French, and it's more of a love story with action. Um, I'm really interested in seeing on how that one's done. See, I need to see more of those. I need to find out where I can get them, and I can watch more of those Hammer films where with Christopher Lee and them. Tubi, okay. All right, Labs, if you could direct one a monster movie, any monster you want, which one would it be? Okay, nice. Yeah, that would be really, really cool. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Frankenstein is great because the story itself, it has so many great questions. Okay, cool. Yeah, the story itself has so many great questions. Like, Frankenstein was created, well, the monster was created by a man essentially driven purely by ambition, who was, like, as Dr. Malcolm said, from from Jurassic Park, figuring out, so was so worried about figuring out whether they could, never thought about whether they should. So it was kind of like his own frailties, playing God, and then this now being stuck with this creation and being responsible for that creation, and how he mishandled the whole thing. Um, Also, too, answering, like, the questions you could play around with Frankenstein, being, he's not a human. He's made up of human parts, but he is now a new thing, a new creature. Does he have a soul? Um, he thinks, he feels, but yet he's been abandoned by his creator. He was brought forcibly into this world, and then his creator essentially abandons him. And then he's, kind of left to forge out in this world that hates him and fears him alone. Dracula, if you go with the more romantic side, as Gary Oldman's character said, Dracula character said, he's a man who's traveled an ocean of time to find his heart and his true love. A vicious, murderous man, but who is motivated to protect his love. And when she was taken from him, cursed the very gods, and then was cursed himself. So one thing I like when those stories are handled that way. I don't like Frankenstein is the scientist, and he's also the monster. His creation is the victim. He wasn't asked to be created, and once he was created, his creator abandons him. So it's like it's the monster. It's not the ferocious beast. That's it's the person who created the beast. Dracula. In the Bram Stoker's Dracula, the movie, he's a warlord protecting his people, even though he was vicious and ruthless. Lost his true love, and in his grief, he cursed God, and then led him to be cursed, to live like an eternity, suffering, drinking the blood, living off the blood of others, and just being punished for essentially grieving and losing his love. It's unfair. It's like when I look at Frankenstein, the monster, or the creation, it's what happened to this poor thing. It's not fair. What happened to Dracula on some levels is not fair. Even if I was going to do the Mummy, I would have some kind of humanizing tragedy that kind of led the Mummy to be in this cursed position, whether it was his own arrogance that got him there, or it's just the tragedy of the situation, or the lack of empathy of the politics of the time, something along those lines that would lead him into this spot where it's not necessarily his fault that he's here. Even if with the Mummy you want to play it up as more of like an ambition of power, a priest who's dabbling, or sorcerer who's dabbling into things and then ends up cursing himself, something along those lines. But even then, playing the character as more of a sympathetic character. Maybe why is the sorcerer trying to find this power or trying to capture it that leads to this curse, and then it could be something of a more a sympathetic nature of why him or her's doing it. With Frankenstein, it's like Frankenstein the creature didn't ask to be born, didn't ask to be created. It was out of the will, arrogance, and the narcissism of Victor that the blind passion to drive, to achieve without thinking about the ramifications of what's happening. Much like today, racing towards to create AI without thinking or without really preparing for the long-term effects of that. Like, just economically, we're losing jobs because of AI. Victor von Frankenstein was so driven to find, to create this creature, to defeat death, to create life, to use science to create life. And then brutally abandons his creation, his child. And it's just the folly of it. The monster represents all of Victor's mistakes, his arrogance, his hubris, his blind ambition, which is really great about the story because he's telling this story to a captain who's essentially driving north in the ice, and he's going to end up his own will and passion is going to end up killing himself and his men. So the reflection there is just it's so great, so timeless. It's a timeless story that fits 100 years ago, 100 years now, or 100 years in the future. People will still be reading it because it just fits the nature of humans, the nature of man.
We are the believers and we believe. People who believe never dies. God gave us our only one life. Doubters say Cig and Joe. We are the believers and we believe. Never doubt the God game was never dies. Never doubt gave us our only one life. Never doubt doubters say Cig and Joe. Never doubt we are the believers and we believe never dies. Gave us our only one life. Doubters say Cig and Joe. We are the believers and we believe never dies. Gave us our only one life. Doubters say Cig and Joe. We are the believers and we believe. But to believe never doubts. God gave us our only one alive. Doubters say Cig and Joe. We are the believers and we believe. To believe never doubts. God gave us our only one alive. Doubters say Cig and Joe. We are the believers and we believe. God gave us without to believe never doubts. God gave us our only one alive. Doubters say Cig and Joe. We are the believers and we believe. To believe never doubts. God gave us our only one alive. Doubters say Cig and Joe. We are the believers and we believe. To believe never doubts. God gave us our water just started. Water just started.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for a mummy story to do it where the film is bouncing back and forth from the ancient times before the main character becomes the mummy, and then to the present time when they're trying to figure out how to stop the mummy, and kind of bounce back and forth, revealing what happened to the mummy, to the person to get cursed, as the film kind of rolls along. So at the end of the film, when the present day finds out what happened, we also get to kind of see it in the past. So you're going back and forth between the two storylines. Now, is the Mummy based off a particular novel, or was that kind of like a overall creation? Okay, so was the same with Creature for the Black Lagoon? Was that kind of its own thing too? Okay. Yeah, Mummy's story would be interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, one we haven't talked about is werewolves. Werewolves do not interest me as much, or lycanthrope. I do like werewolf movies. Like, was a huge Underworld fan where it was werewolves versus vampires, and there's been some good werewolf films out there. It's just it doesn't strike me quite as much as like the Mummy or the where or the like Frankenstein along those lines. Yeah, they're just the same. They don't have the same kind of story appeal, kind of like zombies. they're almost like they're better backdrop or supporting characters than they are to be the mains. All right. 2 hours is enough streaming for me. You guys have yourselves a wonderful night. Thank you, Laps, for stopping by. I want to thank Dingus for stopping by. Gray, I saw Gray in there. MSK, Dingus Den, Laps, Emily, Walter. I want to thank all you guys for stopping by. It was super awesome. We'll be back tomorrow on the MSK show. Thursday, I'm going to be doing some stuff with Dingus. We're going to be going over Dead Earth, but I believe it's going to be pre-recorded, so that'll come out later. And then on Friday will be MSK, and then Saturday will be a drawing stream, but I'll be working over here on my drawing table. We'll be doing a piece of physical media. And I'll keep you guys posted on how Cig and Joe is going. This is after this page, there'll be 4 left, and then all the artwork will be done. We'll start lettering, so that'll be great. Is the last panel going to be Friday, Laps? Because if it's Friday, I can do it. Yeah. Yeah, I should have no problem doing it. Yeah, I should have no problem doing it. I might be a little bit late, but because I get off work at 4:30ish, so I might be a little bit late Friday, but I will make it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, because I got the first day of a sale is on Friday. So yeah, so you can catch me on the last panel show Friday before at 8:00 Eastern time, and then you can catch me on MSAK's show later that night. You guys have yourselves a wonderful evening, and God bless, and have a great day. I'm going to take off though now. You guys have a good night.